This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. I'm Carly Barnett. It is now 7:30. Here's what we're working on for you today. A popular stretch of South Beach turns into a crime scene after a shooting on Ocean Drive. One man injured in the gunfire. And a staff shakeup. First John Kelly, now the Secretary of Interior. The White House seems to be a revolving door, and it just keeps spinning. In a Bond Like Brothers, how an American Ninja Warrior contestant is helping a 7th grade student overcome life's obstacles. It's in an all-new Mentoring Matters. But first, we are going to send it over to Jennifer Correa. Jennifer, we had the rain yesterday. Are we going to see more of it today?
All of that and more coming up.
Jennifer, thank you. This morning, one man is recovering after gunfire on Ocean Drive shut down part of South Beach on a busy Saturday night. It started last night in the front of the Clevelander. One man was taken away in handcuffs around 9 p.m. He reportedly shot a man in the middle of Ocean Drive just hours earlier. Video from a CBS viewer here shows an aerial view just minutes after the shooting. The man who fired the gun, you see him there down on his knees, arms in the air.
I saw the guy looking for himself, looking at himself, and I saw blood coming from one of his arms. So the street was full, with a lot of taxis and people walking around because now nobody was expecting gunshots.
Several other people were taken in for questioning. Witnesses say the man who was shot was alert and speaking with officers after the shooting. The Miami-Dade Police Department is setting up a rather unique program to get guns off the streets. It's an exchange program called Computers for Guns, and it allows members of the community to anonymously trade in their firearm for a brand new laptop.
Events are very important. Not only do we get guns off the street, but we also get the opportunity to give laptops to people that may be in need.
Well, the computers given away during yesterday's event in Hialeah were purchased with money donated to various law enforcement trust funds. Very interesting. Now on to the Trump presidency this morning. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke will step down by the end of the year. He is resigning in the crosshairs of multiple investigations, just as former Trump cabinet members Tom Price and Scott Pruitt did before him. This comes just last week. The president announced his chief of staff, John Kelly, would be leaving. The White House revolving door just keeps spinning. CBS News correspondent Errol Barnett is there.
CBS News, the White House.
Well, caught on camera, a holiday decoration thief in Davie. Police share this surveillance video of a woman taking holiday Christmas decorations from multiple different houses. She pulls up in what looks like a light-colored Volkswagen. She tries covering her face as best she can. She makes off with a laser light decoration, and then after driving away, stops again for an inflatable decoration. Maybe she wants her house to be the best one on the block. If you have any information about this, you should call Broward Crime Stoppers. Their number, 954-493-TIPS. It is time now for an all-new Mentoring Matters. So running through obstacle courses, spotting snakes and alligators, and taking a spin on a jet ski. Not very common activities for anyone, particularly a middle schooler. But Cedric Oliver says when he hangs out with his friend Ronald Washington, they get to do all of those things. The two were brought together by Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, and they recently had the chance to celebrate this holiday season.
You're gonna run out. You're gonna fake to the right.
These two make a winning team on and off the field. Ronald works with the Fish and Wildlife Commission. Cedric is a 7th grade student.
Third down. Say hi.
You may not think they would have much in common, but it's a friendship that started 3 years ago.
It's cool because I never had a younger brother, and as the youngest of 3 brothers, now it's a brand new experience for me.
They're part of Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. Cedric has siblings of his own, but his mother wanted to make sure he had a male role model.
Are you hungry?
And he says Ronald is more than just a mentor.
I really don't count him as a big brother, big sister program. I'm just kind of like as an actual family member.
Because of Ronald's job, the duo gets to have some pretty cool adventures.
I'm out the house and I'm working with some of my favorite animals like alligators.
As equally wild as his day job, Ronald was a contestant on American Ninja Warrior and helped Cedric tackle the course.
One thing we do, we go to Ninja Warrior, like it's a gym and like we do the obstacles. My favorite one is the spider wall.
I get to now bring him into the sport and take him to the local ninja gyms and help him overcome obstacles. Because once you can overcome an obstacle in the gym, you can apply that same principle and concept to real-world obstacles.
Including a tough time at school. Cedric says before he met Ronald, he used to get sent to the principal's office.
All I used to do in 3rd grade was fight, get in trouble, or say stuff.
But Ronald encouraged him to stay on the right path and focus on being a good student.
He said it's the best thing to do is like walk away or tell the teacher.
This holiday season, the two had the chance to celebrate at the annual Big Brothers Big Sisters holiday party. Getting to play games, have lunch, and meet other bigs and littles on a picture-perfect day.
Turned out to be a lot more than what I expected from it, and a lot more rewarding.
And as we approach Christmas, a gift like that is one of the best anyone can ask for.
He makes me better, I make him better, and I think it's a great program for anybody who wants to make a difference in the future generations.
Now, if you would like information on how to become a mentor, just head on over to our website, cbsmiami.com/mentoring matters. We have a whole list of organizations that you can get involved with. And we would like to hear about the mentors in your life. You can send us an email, mentoringmatters@cbs.com. Looking forward to that. Still ahead on CBS 4 this Sunday morning in an all-new Taste of the Town. Lisa Petrillo takes you to a sushi restaurant inside of a recently renovated iconic motel. It's the Vagabond Sushi Bar and Market coming up next. Welcome back. It is time now for another edition of Taste of the Town. This time an iconic motel in the Mimo district gets a whole new look and vibe. It also has a sushi restaurant featuring some unique dishes created by a well-known Japanese chef. CBS 4's Lisa Petrillo takes us to Vagabond Sushi Bar and Market inside of all-new Vagabond Village. Vagabond Sushi Bar and Market is located at 7301 Biscayne Boulevard in Miami, in case you want to check it out today. She always makes me so hungry when she does these.
I know.
It's not even fair that we show them in the morning.
Yeah, right?
I guess we better get to breakfast first, huh?
Yes, or brunch. I think a lot of people might still be tucked in their sheets or just taking it slow and easy.
Well, with a cloudy start this morning, that's kind of what you want to do, right?
That's
just
what
stay
you
in
want
bed.
to do. Yeah, but the clouds are leaving and the sun is coming back this afternoon. Showers have ended, and we're starting off with sunrise photos.
And now to an all-new Heroes Among Us. Every week in partnership with the Florida Panthers, we put the spotlight on a hero among us, men or women who have gone beyond the call of duty for our country. This morning, CBS 4 anchor Maribel Rodriguez introduces us to U.S. Navy veteran Matthew Wiz Buckley, who served his country for more than a decade.
Born on the beach.
Welcome back. So listen to this, an incredible discovery in Egypt over the weekend. A team unveiling a well-preserved tomb decorated with hieroglyphics and statues, and it's more than 4,400 years old. This tomb was found south of Cairo, and today teams will start excavating 4 sealed shafts inside. According to authorities, it is completely untouched and unlooted. Archaeologists expect to find even more discoveries when they start more excavation work this coming January. How interesting. Another half hour of news is coming up next. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
It is 8 o'clock now on Sunday, December 16th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carly Barnett. First this morning, let's send it over to meteorologist Jennifer Correa. She has a look at a much better day today than we saw yesterday with that rain, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, certainly yesterday we got some heavy soak.
Thank you, Jennifer. This morning, one man is recovering after gunfire on Ocean Drive shut down part of South Beach on a busy Saturday night. This all happened at 10th and Ocean near the Clevelander Hotel. One man was shot in the arm. Another is under arrest. Several more are being questioned. CBS 4's Amber Diaz reports.
This morning.
In other news this morning, the U.S. Coast Guard says they have suspended their search for a passenger who fell overboard while on a Carnival cruise near the Florida Keys. Officials say 26-year-old Thomas McElhaney went missing on Friday morning, just about 35 miles south of Isla Mirada. The cruise ship was returning to Miami from a 4-night cruise that stopped in Key West and Cozumel. Rescue crews searched for about 32 hours, covering more than 2,000 square miles. Now a death investigation is underway. Well, police in Miami asking for your help this morning, finding the person who opened fire on 5 people early Saturday morning. Now, we first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday. It happened in the area of Northwest 2nd Avenue and 16th Street around 2:30 a.m. When police arrived, they found 3 people had been shot. Police tell us 2 men and a woman were hit in the ankles. 2 more victims were taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital in another vehicle. 1 person was shot in the arm, another in the shoulder. So if you know anything about this attack, you are urged to call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. A person is dead this morning after a tragic crash involving a pedestrian who was hit by a garbage truck. This happened yesterday morning near West Flagler Street and 58th Avenue. The victim, who was an elderly man, died on the scene. The incident shut down that part of Flagler for several hours. The driver involved stayed on the scene. So far, no charges have been filed. Now at 8 this morning, Governor-elect Ron DeSantis made a stop here in South Florida, continuing his so-called thank you tour. The governor first going to Destin and then Naples before making his way to the Jose Marti Gym in Miami. CBS 4's Ty Russell was there. Now, on to the Trump presidency this morning. President Trump's Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke is stepping down at the end of the month. He is under federal investigation for allegedly misusing his post for his own personal gain. The secretary posted on Twitter yesterday saying, quote, he can't spend thousands of dollars defending himself against allegations that are simply untrue, end quote. Meanwhile, the White House getting a big win after a federal judge in Texas ruled the Affordable Care Act is invalid. This ruling could affect millions of Americans if it stands under appeal. CBS 4's Kenneth Craig explains.
The Affordable Care Act is...
Florida Senator Marco Rubio praised that federal judge's ruling on the Affordable Care Act. The senator saying that ruling is, quote, a first, not a final step in a long legal process. The senator also says Americans should have the ability to buy a health plan that meets their needs rather than one that Washington tells them. Well, still ahead on CBS 4 this Sunday morning, dueling rallies at the southern border. Plus, a 7-year-old girl picked up by Border Patrol dies while in custody. We have more on what happened and the calls now for an investigation. Plus, more than a month after California's deadliest and most costly fire in the state's history, residents are finally able to go home. Welcome back. In news across America, dueling rallies were held near the U.S.-Mexico border yesterday. On one side, you have the pro-border security activists. On the other, migrant supporters. Many held signs reading, "Secure the border" and "We Heart ICE." At a nearby park, a group of religious leaders led a rally in support of the migrants. Meanwhile, there is fresh outrage after the death of a 7-year-old girl who was being held by U.S. Border Patrol. She and her father were detained in New Mexico after crossing into the U.S. illegally. CBS 4's Carter Evans has the latest.
CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, for the first time in more than a month, no more evacuation orders in connection to Northern California's so-called Camp Fire. That wildfire began back in November, and it burned more than 153,000 acres before it was finally contained 17 days later. But it was not until yesterday that evacuation orders were finally lifted for the residents of the town of Paradise and other unincorporated areas. Now in world news, more protests across France yesterday, but the numbers were much fewer than past weekends. Those people protesting in Paris also paused for a moment of silence, remembering victims of the Strasbourg Christmas market attack earlier this week in the French city of Strasbourg, when a man killed at least 4 people. Officials say only about 2,000 protesters came out in Paris. That is down from 10,000 last weekend. After 2 weeks of negotiations, more than 190 countries have come together. They are agreeing on a set of rules meant to help curb global warming. Scientists warning of the emission of carbon gases must sharply be reduced by the year 2030 to prevent potentially catastrophic global warming. In the skies over northeastern China, watchers got a fabulous meteor shower, and it started just after the sunset. Take a look at your screen right now. It grew to more than 100 meteors streaking across the sky. This annual December event is characterized by slow-moving but numerous flashes of white light. Now, investigators in Mexico are trying to figure out what damaged the front end of an Aeromexico jet mid-flight. The plane landed safely yesterday in spite of this large hole in the jet's nose. Early reports indicate the plane may have collided with a drone. Now, thankfully, in this situation, nobody was hurt. unbelievable damage there. I can't believe that could have been caused by a drone.
Those people must be so thankful to be on the ground safely.
And we are thankful for some nice weather today.
Oh yes, I think we all are. We did get rain yesterday. It might have been a bummer for a lot of us, but you know what? We could certainly use the rain, Carly.
That's
it's the dry season.
That's true. We could use it.
So we had it yesterday. Now it's over.
Face the Nation is coming up at 10:30 right here on CBS 4, and moderator Margaret Brennan joins us live from Washington, D.C. this morning. Margaret, what are you all working on for today's show?
Good morning to you, Carly. Headed to the Supreme Court.
A lot of question marks right now with healthcare. Thank you, Margaret. Remember, Face the Nation kicks off at 10:30 right here on CBS 4. CBS 4 this Sunday morning is coming right back. Stay with us. In the spirit of the holidays, an 8-year-old girl received a surprising gift from a pet store in Pembroke Pines. Amalia Gasson and her family had just moved to South Florida from Wisconsin when her 8-month-old puppy Princess was shot and killed near their home, if you can believe that. After hearing the story of that terrible news, the owner of Petland, Luis Marquez, wanted to do something to help. And yesterday he did, giving Amalia a 2-month-old Chihuahua puppy. Such a wonderful act of kindness, a very sad story that had a happy ending there. CBS 4 this Sunday morning is coming right back. But first, here are your winning lottery numbers. Good luck, everyone. Welcome back. Before we head out and enjoy our Sunday, Jennifer has another look at our Sunday forecast. So far, it looks like a beautiful start based on all the weather watchers that have been sending us photos.
Yes, you know, even when it's a cloudy start, here's a live view out of Windjammer Resort camera. It's still a great way to take pictures. It adds to a nice backdrop. So this is live. We're
right after we saw yesterday, we could use the rain, so we'll take it. That does it for CBS 4 this Sunday morning. Facing South Florida is up next. Thank you for joining us and have a great Sunday morning, everybody.
ARN